We're on Brisa right now, down in Ensenada, and let's fill you in. Why did we pick this boat? We've been going to boat shows and looking at boats for quite a while. In fact, I've been looking at boats for probably about 20 years on Yacht Trader, figuring out what I wanted, dream boats, you name it. Originally, I thought, I want a 35 to 40 foot boat. And then we started going to the boat shows. We went to Annapolis and looked at boats, and we figured out, because I'm not the smallest guy, that I don't fit on those size boats. The V berths in the front, my feet would stick off or my head would. I'm too tall, so I can't even walk through the cabin. I'm constantly bent over. So we changed our plans. We started looking for bigger boats. We wanted a catamaran too. We looked at catamarans. Catamarans are very pricey. And then we went out, and one year we sailed both a catamaran and a monohull back to back. And pretty much we were stuck then at that time that we wanted a monohull, just because of the performance and how much fun it was to sail. So we started looking around at used monohulls, and because of my size and the year we were looking at a 45 to 50 foot boat. The problem with that size of a boat is now you're paying for a 45 to 50 foot boat, and maintenance and slip fees, everything just escalates. Each foot just adds another extra price tag on everything. So when this boat came out, and this is the Sun Odyssey 410, they've totally redesigned how it's laid out. It's much beamier, meaning wider, starting very far forward. So that means we have actually a queen size square bed in the bow of the boat for a 40 foot boat, which is unheard of. It also has two heads in it, which at this size boat, we figured we'd only get one. We'd actually prefer just one, but two is convenient because you can use the second one as a wet locker if you need to, or storage. It just gives us a little more flexibility. The main saloon area where I'm sitting now is really wide, has lots of room, and the thing we really like is the amount of light we get in here. That's the appeal of a catamaran, besides being flat all the time, is that a catamaran has tons of lights because you're sitting up high and you have windows all around you. Most older monohulls, if you go into them, you feel like you're in a cave because there's only a few lights up high that let in any light. And this boat has windows down low at eye level, so when we're sitting here at the table, we can look outside and we see the water and see everything. So you don't feel like claustrophobic, stuck inside this cave. We really like that. The layout was really neat, and it's not, kind of a new idea. We have over here, and I'll take a picture, show you, a little couch settee that you can sit on, and it folds into a bed. The chair, or the table dinette area is huge, and it flips out, so we can actually fit a lot of people around this. A key thing, and everybody knows if you're going on longer offshore, is you want to be able to stretch out and maybe sleep down here by the table, and having a couch that's long enough to do that is key. So when we saw this, and there's plenty of room, even for me at 6'6", to stretch out on here and be comfortable. So lots of little things like that we really liked. For a while, they also weren't putting in a true nav station, a chart table that you would have to kind of sit sideways or backwards, facing backwards. And it was a combo between a chair with a little table on the side, and we didn't really like that much. This boat actually has a true dedicated nav table, which is nice because you can keep everything over there. It's a little workstation. The kitchen area is nice. It's not as big as we probably would like, but it's about standard of what you're going to get. And then in the very back, we have two queen-size berths for guests. Well, one of those is probably going to turn into a storage workroom, where we keep stuff like our sups, whatever we're hauling along with us. And then the other side is actual queen-size berth in there, which is nice, and a square, which is tough to find on a boat. Usually there are these weird angles. You got to get somebody to sew sheets, or Danelle will sew them, but it's just more work. And then outside up on the deck, and it's funny, we thought it was kind of glitchy at first, or just a gimmicky thing they're selling. They called it a walk-around deck. So normal cockpits, you have to climb over your seats to get onto the decks to walk forward. With our boat, you don't. You just walk to the back, and you can walk right up the side decks towards the front. Makes it really safe, makes it really convenient. The shrouds are led outside, so you're walking inside the shrouds. You're not leaning outside those, especially when you're underway. That's nice. So it's a well thought out boat. We really like the walk around deck. We didn't think we would, but and then also the hull design is a little different. It's designed more like the world racers, the big 60 foot yachts, and that the bow actually is reverse, where at the waterline it's forward more than it is at the top. So you have this different entry in the water. It's very wide beamy as you go back, and then it has a hard chine, they call it, on each side. So once the wind picks up, the boat heels over, it hits that chine, and it just stays there, and it just rocks from there on out. With the twin rudders, you always have a good feel. It's really balanced. You can get your sails balanced and pretty much take your hands off the wheel, and the boat just goes straight. And it's pretty fun to sail. And you can feel it pick up. That was one thing I was worried about with a bigger boat, is that you wouldn't feel the wind. Like, we had a little 15.5 or 14.5 foot boat, and we didn't think you'd be able to feel the same when you got on a bigger boat. But this boat, where the little gust, you see it come rippling across the water, and you can feel it hit the sails, and the boat just picks up and drives. And it's fun to feel that on this big a boat going along. So we really like the boat. We love the performance. We're going to spend the next 4 or 5 years sailing around Channel Islands, sailing around LA area as we learn this boat and play on it. And then definitely going to cast off at some point, and this boat will take us around the world. At least that's the goal. See this photo? The one where she's grinning ear to ear? That's why we bought this boat. I turned around with my camera just to take a quick shot, saw her grinning ear to ear. That was it. We own this boat. Here's a quick tour of Brisa. Going down into the main cabin, we have the kitchen area, seating area, little chaise lounge, forward berth with queen size bed, en-suite head. Two berths in the back, and an actual real desk for charting and navigation. And once you get under the water line, she's a deep fin keel, and looking towards the aft, twin rudders and a folding prop to keep everything speedy. On the day we became owners of Brisa, we went offshore 3 miles so we can take delivery of her out in the open ocean and kind of avoid a few taxes. We then brought her back in to finish up some warranty work, delivery items, and get some canvas work done. The docks in San Diego gave us a lot of time to sit and watch the sunsets, but one of the things we had to do for our insurance was to hire a captain to give some training on the systems on the boat. We basically hired Captain Murphy to take us out on San Diego Bay. We spent all day Saturday learning how to operate the boat. We already knew how to sail because I've been doing that for a while, but it was more the how do you anchor, how do you dock the boat, how do you take it in to get refueled, turning the boat around, mooring the boat. So we learned a lot of the little systems that you just don't see on a lake boat that you'd sail in Colorado. It was good training. We learned a lot. We were actually really tired by the end of the day. As I mentioned earlier, we took an offshore delivery. We did this because we're not California residents and we didn't want to pay the California luxury tax on this purchase. So that means we got to keep the boat out of California for at least 6 months. So we took delivery, finished up work, and then we made our first long passage on it from San Diego Harbor down to Ensenada. We left at midnight, took us about 9 hours. We averaged about 7.5 knots. And it was quite an experience for us. The best part was in the morning as we were almost getting into Ensenada Bay. The dolphins came up and played on the bow, and we got to sit there and watch them goof around in our bow wave for a good 10-15 minutes. Okay, welcome to Ensenada. This is where we're going to keep Brisa for the next few months, probably about 6, 7, depends on how the race season goes. We brought her down here because it was a 60-mile journey from San Diego. It was really easy to check in. It took us maybe 30 minutes. There's one place to do it all. And then check out at the end of this time will be easy too, and then sail back up to the States. It's a pretty nice marina and lots of security, so we don't have to worry about Brisa when we leave her here. From Newport Beach, Irvine, it takes us maybe 3 hours to drive down here right now. So it may get a little worse once things return to normal. But for now, it's not bad to come down here, visit, and then head back up. If you do have a desire to come visit us, but don't want to stay on the boat, right here the marina has a really nice hotel, Hotel Corral, that you can stay in and overlook the boat. Lots of pools and restaurants, but during COVID, nothing. So once again, it's a Jeanneau Sun Odyssey 410. It's a French boat, so there's tons of wine storage on board. French thing, and we hope you come visit us.